Are you happy?
About how trip was?
Physically, I'm attracted to Nicole, but it's not like, just like, for example, 55%.
Awesome! This video is sponsored by Raycon. As you probably have guessed, I spent a lot of time creating YouTube videos. And since I've started using these beautiful Raycon everyday earbuds, they have already improved my focus while I'm editing. They take no time to easily connect to my computer, and the pure sound quality is excellent for when I'm reworking clips and drafting my videos. I am very picky about how earbuds fit in my ears, especially since I wear them for hours at a time. But these actually come with custom gel tips, so I have made the perfect comfortable in-ear fit for my ears. The noise isolation also helps me block out background noise. My dogs are loud, and now I don't have to hear them constantly snoring behind me. And I can quickly tap the earbuds when I need to change the volume up and down, and I don't have to click anything on my screen. Whether you're looking for a pair of everyday earbuds, gaming headphones, or a speaker with a battery life that will last you all night, Raycon's got you covered. And Raycon start at half of the price of other premium audio brands. So are you ready to buy something small with a big impact? Click the link in the description, or go to buyraycon.com/kiblz to get 15% off of your order. Now let's get back to this train wreck that is Nicole and Azan. This is part 2 of a series of videos that will cover Nicole and Azan's entire story, from the delusional fairy tale beginning to the bizarre ending. And we left off in the part 1 video with Nicole returning from her first disastrous trip to Morocco. If you need to catch up, I linked the part 1 video in the description. Nicole's trip was not even close to the fairy tale delusion that she had planned.
Get away from me.
Almost too lazy. Oh my gosh, lazy.
But she did return home with an engagement ring. She seemed to not really know what to do next, but after hearing the details of their many fights, her family wants her to cut things off with Azan for good. For just a few seconds, it almost seemed like this was the end of their relationship. But they did keep talking long distance, and over time, Nicole seemed to get some sort of amnesia and totally forgot how bad her trip went, because she decides to go back to Morocco again instead of cutting things off. When we all first met Nicole, I assumed that she just didn't know that she was getting scammed. And when Azan was calling her lazy and just plain not nice to her, I did feel a little bit bad for her. But all of that sympathy completely disappeared when she started to drag her innocent child into this. And of course, Nicole has no support for her decision to go back, especially this time since she's taking her young daughter with her.
Do not drag that child clear across the world to a place she's not familiar with, to a place you're not familiar with.
But she keeps bulldozing forward towards getting a K-1 visa, and she even convinces her dad to sponsor Azan for when they apply. Their fear is that if she doesn't get Azan to the US, that she will just move to Morocco with her daughter.
It doesn't seem like she should go through this. And that's just the truth.
So they reluctantly say goodbye to Nicole in May, hoping this is the last trip and either it ends completely or Azan comes to the US. Nicole and May arrive in Morocco for trip attempt number 2. Also, I want to address how Azan says his name. I had a few people in the comments say that his name is pronounced differently and that Nicole is saying it wrong. I appreciate the correction. Nicole is an idiot. The weird thing is that this is how he pronounced his name in the interview.
My name is Azan and this is my fiancé Nicole.
He says Azan here, not Hassan like his first interview. So because he's saying his name this way, I'm going to pronounce it as he does in the interview. Did he just stick with this because Nicole kept messing it up, or did he just want to stop correcting people for the show? Anyways, distance is what works for this couple, so as expected, it doesn't take long for the arguing to start once they are interacting in person. And adding this poor innocent toddler into the mix doesn't help. They have her on a leashed backpack, which safety-wise is probably the best option, especially in a crowded market. But then they take it off, and Azan seems to be the only one trying to keep May from running away.
May!
Nicole doesn't like how Azan is handling May, but he seems to be trying. And I mean, she tells May to call him daddy, so I don't know why she's angry at him when he's just trying to keep her from running in the street. But the fighting doesn't stop at parenting disagreements. Nicole also had an incident where she took off her engagement ring to go out one night, and that pissed off Azan.
Nicole, who did you go out with that night?
Just a guy friend who, I hung out with.
She had previously cheated on Azan before they met in person, and now she has betrayed his trust again.
If I know that she's like, she go out with a man and take her ring off, absolutely I will not ask her to come to Morocco.
Azan is upset, and I really thought this would be his last straw. But in a weird turn of events, he actually seems to quickly forgive her. Strange, right? He more or less just lets it go. I was surprised that he even wanted Nicole to come back out to Morocco in the first place. He seemed so done with her when she left the first time, and I think he really was, because the real reason for him forgiving her so easily and wanting to continue their relationship comes to light.
I get fired from my job.
Azan blames not having a job on Nicole, because she wanted him to talk to her all of the time.
The first time she sent like $800, and the next time 300, and the other one she sent me like 500.
This explains a lot. I really think this relationship would have ended after their first trip if she wasn't sending him money. They had no chemistry, nothing in common, and he even had questionable attraction to her. But Nicole found a way to keep him interested, with money.
I'll pay back.
You don't have to pay me back. Just take care of me and May, that's all.
And to me, what confirms this is how much he says he is attracted to her. In a scene where he takes her to the gym, he keeps reminding her that he wants her to be less lazy and more healthy. And then says this.
Physically, I'm attracted to Nicole, but it's not like, just like, for example, 55%.
I also completely forgot that he had said this savage line right in front of her and not in a solo interview. Ouch. 55%, just above 50-50. So he's halfway attracted to her. And he doesn't stop there. He decides that he doesn't want to marry Nicole until she changes how lazy she is. And no matter how miserable he seems with her, he won't just break up with her. I mean, he's already getting money out of her and they aren't married, so why would he bother to marry her? Instead, they just continue to have embarrassing fights. Nicole is in denial that this guy doesn't even like her, and acts like this is fixable if they talk it out. Why is she always putting her hands on this guy? She looks like a complete idiot pushing and pulling on him to get him to speak to her. Nicole is delusional. She brought her 2-year-old to another country to be with someone that doesn't even like her.
Angela wants to remind you to subscribe to this channel. If you don't, she will be released in your city.
When things finally calm down after their fight, she still thinks that they should apply for the K1 visa. And Azan agrees to apply.
I have to be just more patient with Nicole because I do really love her and care about her, and she really supports me like all the time.
Nicole's trip comes to an end, and her daughter head back to the US. And Azan once again looks thrilled that she's leaving. But when Nicole gets back to the US, we get an update on what happened with applying for the K1 visa.
When I first found out that Azan's visa got denied, I was really upset and I didn't know what to do.
Yep, they got denied. At the time, they were given no reason as to why, and Nicole doesn't even question it. Instead of that triggering a bunch of red flags, Nicole has a new plan.
There's the spousal visa, which means that you go to the fiance's country and you can get married there.
And this isn't her just bouncing the idea off her dad and stepmom either. She already has this planned out and is just inviting them to her wedding in Morocco.
Do you have a timeline on this wedding?
Timeline from when I get there? 3 weeks.
I wonder now if he knew that they would get denied. He must, or I don't think he would have agreed to it. Or maybe he can just overlook the fact that he can't stand her because of her financial support. Oh yeah, and she will be staying in Morocco for a year until she can bring Azan over to the US. Everyone around Nicole thinks she's making a huge mistake, especially since she's again dragging her poor daughter over there with her. And her family also makes it known that Nicole has sent Azan way more money than we originally thought.
Do you know how many thousands of dollars you sent him? You're refusing to say it because you know that you've been sending him money.
I know that it's no one's business how much I send.
At this point, Azan has had the cash flowing, and I doubt it was his idea to have Nicole to move to Morocco. She is still living in a fantasy world and paying for his affection. Her parents know it and don't even think the wedding will even happen. And in my next video, Nicole goes as far as picking out a wedding dress, and Azan ends up getting caught being shady online. But somehow that doesn't stop her plan of her and May moving to Morocco. And if you watched their story back when it aired, you know that this is when the whole thing starts to crash and burn. So stay tuned for part 3. Anyways, thanks for watching. Bye!